Morning viewers, this is Mangesh from Jindal Nature Fit Institute. Yet for another session with our experts to get the advice to boost immunity naturally. Today we are with Dr. H.P. Bharti and Dr. Kiran Reddy. So let's begin with the session. So Dr. Bharti, patient wants to know, is it good and safe to consume supplements like vitamins and minerals, tablets on regular basis?
The vitamins and minerals are known as protective food. It prevents the diseases. So coming to the consumption, supplements like on regular basis we won't advise so easily. Supplements, if a person doesn't have any disease or anything, so try to incorporate the food itself. All the minerals and the vitamins should be available. One should try to consume more of vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds, dry fruits, to certain extent ghee, butter, milk, curd. So these should provide the supplements for a healthy person. If any disease is there the doctor is going to advise the supplements. In that conditions, one can have the regularly. It may be the condition of anemia, or it may be a diabetic neuropathy, or it may be a pregnant lady. So there they cannot neglect the supplements. The person, in spite of health condition, still wants to have the supplements, the artificial supplements, then they can have irregularly. It can be 2 to 3 days in a week, or it can be like 20 days in a month and then giving a gap. So on regular basis, we won't recommend the supplements.
Okay, doctor. So Dr. Kiran, coming to you, we have a question from a patient who is worried about her children spending a lot of time on social media. Could you please give us some solution?
Yeah. See, nowadays, there is no home without gadgets and no modern gadgets without any social media apps, right? Internet has become a part and parcel of our lives. Firstly, I would like to suggest the viewers to watch a documentary called The Social Dilemma, which is available on Netflix. There, the ex-employee of Facebook has said something that if you are not paying for the product, that means they are using you as their product. And that's how the big game companies are making money through advertisements. Well, coming to the point, first we need to know why one is getting addicted to these kind of social media apps like WhatsApp, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's because children these days look for affirmation, attention, and interest on others' lives over there. As a result, they are definitely forgetting to enjoy their moment at present. The main ill effects are low self-esteem and the peer pressure that they're facing because of what their friends they have, what they don't have, they start comparing. And also they are ending up with mental health issues like insomnia, depression, anxiety, etc. Now, how to overcome this? I'll give you 5 simple tips. Number one, teach your children how to make human contacts. Teach them how to talk to people, make the human connections. Secondary, turn off all the unnecessary notifications so that the beeping won't disturb your routine. And then delete unnecessary apps. Parents should guide their children and give them attention and make them play some indoor games rather than giving them gadgets to play the online games. And make a happy hour, like in a day you just tell them 1 hour a day or half an hour a day, you give them the phones and then let them play or scroll the apps, whatever they want to do, let them do it only during that happy hour, and the remaining of the day there is nothing to be used. And like many celebrities follow, let them follow a digital detox. That is, weekly, 1 day, completely there should be no phone or no apps. So with the above said things, one can guide their children in a right way. And remember, technology is both boon and a bane. Use it wisely.
Okay, I think this can be very useful even for parents, not just for children, because even all of us are getting addicted unknowingly to this social media apps and Facebook, YouTube, and all this kind of things.
Definitely.
So, Doctor, thank you, Dr. Kiran. Coming back to you, Dr. Bharti, a 48-year-old female who suffers from regular heel pain for last 2 years. What are the natural remedies for her?
One should know the reason for the heel pain now. So irregular physical activities which strains the muscles of the feet. So that may be the reason. Or it can be the wrong footwear. It can be high heeled or too tight shoes or anything. Or it can be the inflammation of the plantar fascia called as plantar fasciitis. Or There may be an arthritic condition in the heel itself known as calcaneal spur. So coming to the treatment part, first, if the pain is very acute, rest is advised along with the ice application. When person does the ice application, continuously to do it for 10 minutes and repeat it in a day 3 to 4 times. So keeping the legs in the hot water with Epsom salt. Epsom salt has got a pain-killing effect. The temperature of the water should be around 40 to 42 degrees centigrade. Immerse the legs up to the calf muscles along with the salt for 20 minutes to 30 minutes. And one more treatment is hot and cold foot bath. So one can take 2 buckets of buckets, fill one bucket with the hot water and the other bucket with the normal tap water. So immerse the legs in the hot water for 3 minutes. Then immediately shift the legs to the cold water for 1 minute. Repeat it for 3 to 4 times or around for 15 to 20 minutes. Coming to the exercise part, one can do the ball rolling. Keep the rubber ball on the floor and move to and fro with the soles. Or drop a pencil on the ground, try to pick it up with the toes. These are the best simple exercises. Along with that one can have the ankle movements, front flexing and extension of the ankle, rotation of the ankles. Also, the toes, one can just up and down movement of the toes is regularly doing relaxes the muscles. Last but least, so arching the feet again and again, that also relaxes the muscles and it controls the pain.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So basically, they have to do a bit of exercises, and then they should know the root cause of what is causing it. It could be shoes or the other diseases. Okay. Dr. Kiran, to you. Do you have any natural home remedies for women suffering from menstrual disorders?
Yeah, sure. Speaking of menstrual disorders, first we need to know the causes, right? There are n number of menstrual disorders. First, we need to know what is affecting or what is the cause, reasons for it. Namely, we have mainly stress. Stress is one of the cause that women have irregular periods. And second one, lack of physical activity, say exercises because of that. And tertiary is anemia or PCOD conditions, the low hemoglobin levels or polycystic ovarian diseases. And then consuming n number of different medications. So the side effects of those medications could be one cause. And also eating problems. We see these days, we tend to eat either overeat or consume less. Either you binge eating or starvation. So that should be balanced. And some few of the gynec related issues. Now that we know the reasons, we have to give a symptomatic treatment. We have to treat them accordingly. First one, mood swings we have chosen. Mood swings, irritation. So with this, what happens is they have to practice yoga. If the practice of yoga is very regular, then these problems will be solved. And second one, irregular periods. Irregular periods in naturopathy, we have best treatments. Hip bath. Okay, it can be cold hip bath or neutral hip bath. Just in a tub, if you fill the water and sit every day for 15 minutes, and avoid during the menses. Okay. And also we have hot foot arm bath. That's take 2 buckets of water, hot water. Keep your both the feet in one bucket and palms in one more bucket, and sit for 15 minutes. This regularizes the bleeding. And third most common symptom they face is dysmenorrhea, that is pain during menstruation. For pain during menstruation, they can give hot fomentation to the inner thighs and lower back. That immediately gives the relief. Next comes is weakness. Weakness majorly happens due to dehydration because of excess blood loss, dehydration. So they have to make sure they drink enough water and also fluids, more of juices. Coming to menstrual cramping. So lavender oil is best proven to use during cramping. It's having a soothing effect. And also finally, I suggest the husbands, they have to play an important role, at least during those 4-5 days. They have to help their wives and share the equal responsibility of the house chores. That not only gives the physical relaxation, but also the emotional support.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So not just for women, but you have given tip for even for men to help their wives. Coming over to you, Dr. Bharti now. One of our patients wants to know the treatment for coughing problem. At the same time, he's sleeping in sleeping position, which is diagnosed as hiatus hernia. He is finding only temporary relief through medicines. Is there a natural cure for it?
So hiatus hernia is nothing but a small part of the stomach gets pushed up into the cavity of chest. So this may lead to the relaxation of the esophageal sphincter or the valve. So when a person lies down or like relaxes in flat, the gastric secretions comes up to the throat, which causes the irritation in the throat, and it may give the cough. Over here, lifestyle changes, mainly the diet change has to be made. The changes in the diet plays in controlling the disease. One has to eat smaller meals. So 2 or 3 times you can eat or more if you want, but portion should be controlled. When one consumes the water also, the portion of the water should be smaller portions. And regularize the timings for the food. Timely food always makes one person to have the controlled in portions. The dinner should be always early and it should be the easily digestible food. There should be a gap of at least 2 to 3 hours between the dinner and the sleep. Apart from this one, a person should never sit or lie down immediately after the food. So they should stroll for 15 to 20 minutes or if possible can sit in Vajrasana for some time. This makes the food to settle down properly and the regurgitation doesn't take place. So one should do the regular exercises which helps to control the weight itself. One of the reason for the hiatus hernia is the weight. And secondly, the exercises tones up the muscles. So there are chances it may rectify the hernia itself.
Okay. I hope patient has noted down all the points and he will follow all those things. So Dr. Kiran, coming back to you, a female patient aged about 40 years old is suffering from full body muscular pain since many years. All her medical results are found to be very normal. What could be the reason behind the pain and what is the solution for it in naturopathy basically?
Okay. So looking at the symptoms, this condition looks like fibromyalgia. What happens with the people suffering from fibromyalgia is, see, when they complain of pain and when, as you said, when the test results or scans, everything is negative, then what the other person or their spouse or family member start thinking is just for attention's sake they are complaining on this, but that's not true. This is not just a psychosomatic illness. This condition is called fibromyalgia and it is characterized by many other conditions like accompanied by fatigue, generalized weakness, sleep, memory and mood issues, and sometimes the patient have problems with the temporomandibular joints and headaches and IBS, anxiety, etc. Many researchers have been proved that 3 basic things will help in fibromyalgia. One is exercising regularly and relaxation, complete body relaxation and stress reduction. These 3 things should be taken care of. Apart from that, I'll give few home remedies. In naturopathy, we have a very effective treatment for pain, that is Epsom salt bath or magnesium sulfate, which you get it in medical stores. So if you have a shower tub, then you can fill it with hot water and mix, a fixed amount of Epsom salt in that and lie down for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, if you don't have a shower tub, it's okay, fine. You can just make a paste out of the Epsom salt, apply over the local body parts where it is painful, and then get it dried with sun bath or something, and then take hot shower. That also will give the same result. Number 2, stretching exercise, as I mentioned. When you stretch the body completely, the neuromuscular joints will activate, and that will give the great relief. And if you are accessible to steam and sauna baths, I would recommend weekly once or twice they have to take steam and sauna baths. And most effective treatment is hot and cold fermentation in a ratio of 3:1. That is 3 minutes of hot and 1 minute of cold application. Then nothing is working out and if it's becoming very chronic, I would suggest them to go for counseling.
Can you please explain what fermentation is and how it is to be done? And
fermentation. See, if you are applying a hot water bottle directly or for a few minutes, then it is application. Where it's fermentation is you have to press and release over the affected part.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Not direct.
Okay, fine. So I hope patients have noted this. And Dr. Bharti, coming to you, a patient wants to ask, he has a problem of passing the motion on regular intervals and spends a lot of time in the washroom. Can you please help him?
So the condition seems to be irritable bowel syndrome. So over here, the bowels should relax a person. Instead of relaxing, it irritates the person. The cause may be like past history of any infection. It may be continuing. So the infection might have been controlled in the past, but still the habit continues. Over here, the urge is present again and again to pass the bowels. Most of the time, the motions are sticky, and person spends lot of time because he gets the urge again and again. For this one, the treatment is conditioning the system. So, person may encourage first bowel movement or the second bowel movements, but later when he gets the urge, so it has to be like neglected, or he can postpone the rush to the toilet room for 5 minutes or anything, means delaying the urge. By this one, then it may skip the urge itself, or he may just divert his mind. So the other type is the sedentary lifestyle or lack of fiber in the diet. So in this condition, the person may suffer from hard stool or like incomplete evacuation. So here the problem is the person puts pressure to pass the bowel movements. And in spite of putting the pressure, there will be no complete evacuation. So that here the person has to change his lifestyle. So he has to go for regular exercises. So movement of the body is required. Secondly, he has to add more of fiber in the diet. So which includes fruits, vegetables, and if required, one can add the isabgol itself as in a routine day. And one more condition is there, the stress. There is a brain-gut interactions. In this one, whenever the person's stress increases, the gut gets disturbed. So there they will have frequent motions, and here the bowel movements may be loose also. And here the person cultivates an habit where if once he passes the bowel movements, he feels relaxed. So for them, if they control the bowel movements, it may increase their stress. So for these people, yoga is best. Yoga is for both mind and body. And to control the stress, one should limit their activities and take up the activities one after the other. Instead of doing the multitask, it is better to do one after the other. Coming to the treatment part, because here in the irritable bowel syndrome, patients usually have too much of bloating or gas formation, discomfort in the abdomen. So, cold compress on the abdomen before breakfast for 15 minutes. Take a towel, wet it in the normal tap water and put it on the abdomen. Relax with this towel for 15 to 20 minutes. Apart from this one, when the stomach is empty, a person can have hot and cold fermentation. As the doctor explained the fermentation, the same thing can be done for the abdomen, which releases the gas and gives a comfort. Third, one can apply the castor oil on the navel itself. It improves the digestion. And always keep the system in calm. Don't put the pressure for the system.
Okay. Okay, so doctor. So there is no need for any consumption of any medication as such.
See, like there are other conditions where a person may have blood in the bowel. When they are passing too many times, there may be a blood in the motion, bowel movements, or like they may lose the weight. In such conditions, it is better to consult.
Okay.
If it is like regular bowel movements, not much problem, then one can treat themselves.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So, Dr. Kiran, coming back to you. So nowadays, the patients are very confused about wearing masks. Can you please shed some lights on myths and facts on wearing masks and how to do?
Yeah, sure. See, wearing masks have become very new normal now, right? If you don't wear one, then people start staring at you or looking at you like either you have made a sin or a mistake. Generally, there are many fake news going around or myths going around about these masks. Let me clear a few of them. Number one, cloth masks doesn't protect you. That's one thing. That's why PM Modi also, to give the general knowledge to people, he's wearing the cloth mask for the travel. So yeah, first you need to know why we are using masks. It's not only just, to avoid the droplets passing or exchanging. It's not only for that. The main purpose of wearing mask is you avoid touching your mouth, eyes and nose, right? So eyes and facial parts. So that's main reason, and definitely cloth mask is going to help you with that. Number two, masks can cause carbon dioxide buildup. Now that's a fake news. Masks cannot, because see, they are designed in such a way that your breathing should be normal. So masks don't build up carbon dioxide. But when you're jogging or going on a brisk walk or workouts, then I suggest them to avoid for that particular time. Third one, if you are not sick, then you need not wear mask. No, that's not true. If you're not sick, then also you have to wear mask, because see, either you accidentally spread the disease or you acquire it. So you have to wear mask always to protect yourself. Knowingly or unknowingly, you will be spreading a disease sometimes, maybe during asymptomatic condition. And the next myth is, once you have recovered from corona, you need not wear mask. That's a myth. See, we don't know how long the immunity is going to stay, or we don't know. In many cases, reported that the secondary time or tertiary time, they are getting affected with corona. That's why you have to wear mask even you have been recovered from corona. And the other thing, if you are home, you need not wear mask. That's around generally people speak, right? So yeah, I agree with this. That's the truth. If you are in home, if you are in a safe condition, nobody is sick in your home, you are also not sick, then you need not wear. See, listen, carefulness costs you nothing, but carelessness, it may cost you your life. So save lives, save yourself, wear a mask.
Thank you, doctor, for this message. So, Dr. Bharti, coming back to you. So, there are a lot of again myths regarding mask and sometimes regarding even the most common thing as water. So, just a viewer wants to know that drinking more water can cause kidney issues.
See, here like we have to understand what is more. So, water is an essential nutrient which is required for life to. Coming to the water part, wherever like you have heard the lecture in naturopathy, we recommend always 2 to 3 liters of water to consume on daily basis. There is no evidence which says that how much a person should drink the water. But depending on the water loss from the body due to, it may be the sweating, respiration or urination, bowel movements. So roughly it is calculated around 2.5 to 3 liters a person should drink. So this compensates the water loss. Secondly, it maintains the health of a person, and surely this will not be a burden for the kidney. If there is a kidney problem, then the doctor who is treating the kidney problem will advise to reduce the intake of water. So one should have a clear cut over here until unless someone advises not to drink more water. So he can drink clearly 2 to 3 liters of water. Coming to like there's a procedure to follow how much like one can drink water in one go. So equal distribution of this water is a must throughout the day, because we have physical activities, we are moving around in the daytime. So the water consumption, whatever the 3 liters we are saying, it should be equally distributed throughout the day. So one cannot gulp like in one go around half a liter of water. So instead of drinking half a liter of water in one go, consume a cup of water which is around 150 ml to 200 ml.
Okay. And I have always, most of us do have confusion regarding when before eating or after eating when we should, or during the meal when we should consume water. How much?
So the health for the health purpose and for the better digestion, we say giving a gap of half an hour is good.
Okay.
So like not to consume along with the meal, consume the water along with the meal, but one can give half an hour gap.
So before getting your meal, half an hour before and then half an hour after.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still in between it feels like having the water one can have in the sips,
Okay.
not to gulp more.
Okay, so thank you, doctor. So, Dr. Kiran, continuing with this similar theme. So, there is a question for dry fruits basically. So, dry fruits are obviously known as superfoods, but there is always confusion how much one should consume, when should they consume, and what are the ill effects if we consume too much of.
Okay, indeed, it's a very good question. We receive many of patients when discussing history. They say they consume a lot of dry fruits, per se, thus badam, thus accrued, thus walnut. See, thus everything is huge amount. It's 1 week for one person. That's not in a single day. That's not should be done. So it's actually a lot of quantity. Ideally, one should consume somewhere between 20 to 30 grams, not more than that. Okay. And if dry fruits, they have super beneficial effects, as you know. So number one is they contain essential fats. They're a very good source of fatty acids, and they improve the immune system, immune functioning, and brain functions, activate the brain functions, and also gives you an early morning kickstart for the day. So anything that's consumed too much becomes poison, right? So one should consume in a very limited quantity. And when to consume? It is ideally the best to consume on early in the morning. And early in the morning on empty stomach, soaked it is very good. If it is soaked, then it is very easily digestible. Now, by consuming early in the morning, you have a few benefits. I will give you some. Number one, it avoids constipation. Two, it helps in weight loss. Three, we get a very healthy and glowing skin, and it improves your hemoglobin levels and avoids the risk of anemia. And also, it makes your bones very stronger. And for a note, diabetics, either it is better to avoid or consume very less quantity.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So, Dr. Bharti, coming to you, a patient is suffering from frequent bouts of sneezing with runny nose, especially in the morning or on the exposure of the dust. So, can you help him?
So this shows the person is suffering from allergic rhinitis. That is, see, if you say the sneezing is a defense mechanism which protects our system. Here, the mucosal layer becomes very sensitive and overreacts whenever a person comes in contact with the dust particles or like strong odor or there is a weather variations or temperature variations. So they get bouts of sneezing. Along with this one, a person may have the running nose, that is water dripping from the nose, or they may have the itching in the eyes and the nose, ear also. So for this one, the best treatment is just a simple steam inhalation. So if like one can tolerate the smell, then they can add either the eucalyptus oil or they can add the turmeric or the neem leaves. If one cannot tolerate these things, so plain facial steam inhalation also is better. Along with this one, one has to keep the foot in the hot water, that is hot foot immersion. So this is a basic treatment where any person is suffering from upper body symptoms. It may be the like lack of sleep or headache or anything. We always advise them to keep their legs in the hot water. This reduces the circulation from the head side, relieves the congestion. So if possible, one can get the head massage without oil. This also relieves the congestion from the nose and it relaxes the person. And coming to like hot and cold full body bath. So here a person can take a normal regular bath, end the shower with cold water for 2 or 3 seconds if possible. This helps a person to overcome the temperature variation problem. So the bouts of sneezing, what happens due to the temperature variation can come under control with this simple practice. And in food, one can add citrus, that is vitamin C. So citrus fruits are very much beneficial. And the good habit is morning one can have lemon juice, either warm or like if they want normal temperature. And if they want, they can add the sweetener by adding the jaggery to it.
Okay.
Coming to the yoga part, because the yoga gives the best results for the allergic rhinitis, regular practice of asanas and pranayama. So helps a person to get the resistance power. Practicing the kriyas, especially the neti, the jal neti and the sutra neti, helps to overcome the oversensitive of the mucosal layer. And overall, any type of exercises which increases the body temperature controls the allergic rhinitis. So here my advice is regular exercise is a must to control the allergic rhinitis.
Okay, so ultimately, means everyone has to do regular exercises, whether they are suffering from the issue or not, and then irrespective, yes, and then consume all the vitamins and.
Especially vitamin C is very much beneficial in this.
Okay, especially in this time.
And one more thing is during the bouts of attack, one can have the hot soups and can have the herbal tea made out of ginger, pepper, and all. That also gives the relief.
Okay, thank you, doctor. So, Dr. Kiran, coming to you, so modern day issue again. A lot of patients have asked us about the health issues they are facing during the work from home, and so can you please provide some simple solutions because they are under a lot of stress.
Okay. Work from home has its own advantages and disadvantages. Many of my friends also complain earlier they used to work from 9 to 5. Now their work timings are stretched from 9 to 9 due to unavoidable circumstances. The very common health issues faced from the public are neck and back pains, excess of sleep, bloating of abdomen, digestion issues that is, and hypertension due to overstress of work, and sometimes headache also due to overwatching of screen. Now, let me give a few simple tips for home remedies. Number one, pain related issues. If it's a neck or back pain, I suggest you always carry a hot water bottle with you. So you can place over the upper back or lower back, wherever it is painful, and use the proper support. The posture is very important. Posture practice should be done, and also neck exercises every day. The neck exercises should be done. Coming to excess of sleep, due to continuously watching the screen, a few try tend to fall asleep. So in naturopathy, we say hydrotherapy. Water is very effective. That is, cold water splashing is very stimulating. So whenever you feel sleepy, go and splash a cold water to your face. That avoids the sleep. And taking intermittent breaks or changing the routine every 1 hour will definitely help you. And also consuming herbal drinks, warm herbal drinks also will help. And third complaint is bloating of abdomen or indigestion issues. So as ma'am was explaining, cold compress is very good for avoiding it. And try to do it once in the morning and evening, 10 minutes each. And stretching exercises, due to enormous continuous sitting, you tend to bloat. So you get up and stretch your body completely, that helps. And consume ginger tea once in the morning and night, ginger tea. Then hypertension I was speaking about. Hypertension is because when you're not able to reach your manager or even due to network issues, the stress rises and then leads to hypertension. So we suggest you ice massage. Ice massage is take ice cube, rub it over the upper back and also to the spine, to head, neck and spine. That brings down the pressure. And consume a lot of alkaline juices, tender coconut water, barley water, and white pumpkin juice will help you.
Okay.
Most importantly, pranayamas you should do. Sheetali and Chitkari pranayamas. So every day we in Jindal page goes live morning 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. So you can learn from over there and then you can practice this cooling Sheetali Chitkari pranayamas.
Okay.
And then headaches. Many people complain of headaches. Hot foot immersion, as ma'am was again explaining, hot foot immersion is very good for headaches. And also acupressure points. Now there is a point called Hegu over here in between your thumb and index finger. So pressing and releasing over this point on both the hands for few minutes will help you with the
Can you show it one more time, please?
Sure. So between your index and thumb, in between this, you have to press for say 10 counts and release for 5 counts, and then press for 10 counts and release. So both the hands you have to do for 5 times each.
Okay.
And not only employees working from home, even children, due to online classes, having a lot of eye issues because of staring at the screen.
Right.
So I suggest few thumb gazing exercises. So thumb, you have to move to the left, teach the children, kids to left and to right. Okay. One is left and right, one is diagonally, and one is sideways, both the sides.
So we have to keep our neck still
Next
and then
and only eye
just
rotation.
gaze the thumb.
Yes, eye rotation.
Okay.
And simpler is Trataka, we say in again yoga, Trataka, that is in a dark room, place a stool and place a candle over that, over the table, and sit straight in eye level, keep a candle and gaze the candle, and you can in between blink the eyes, then let the tears roll out and then relax for a while. This also will help you. And cold compress or just cold wet towel or wet kerchief, handkerchief, place it over the eyes for 10 minutes before you fall asleep, or in the morning also you can do it. This will greatly help the children. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, doctor. So we are coming at the end of this session now. So we would just, Dr. Bharti, so with your lot of experience, can you please explain us what naturopathy in straightforward terms? What is naturopathy basically?
Naturopathy is nothing but a disciplined way of life.
Okay.
So we have to adapt the rules. See, this one we have inherited from the mother nature itself. The elements for the discipline is punctuality, tolerance, willpower or the determination, and a sense of judgment. Punctuality, it's a soul of any business. So one should have a timetable to achieve anything. So if in the timetable, always keep a time for self. Because you are thinking of naturopathy as a treatment to control your disease or anything. So if you neglect yourself, you cannot achieve anything. So in your timetable, there should be a time for oneself, for the exercise or for the food or whatsoever it is there, keep time for yourself. Second is the tolerance. So naturopathy is not a magic. That's one you have to keep in mind, because your disease also has not come in 1 day or 2 days. It has taken time to come up. It has replaced the health. So to gain the health, one should have the time, patience, tolerance. And here in the naturopathy, when we do the treatment, crises are common. So one should have the patience to accept the crisis.
Okay.
Willpower or the determination. it shows the inner force of a person. So a person, if he loses a kilo of weight in a month, means that is determined. He has to determine himself. Or like now to quit the smoking. So he should not touch. So determination is required over there. So my advice is like always wake up with a determination, go to bed with a satisfaction.
Okay.
Last is sense of judgment. See, one should always know what is right, what is wrong, and always choose the right things for the health purpose. So don't see your like likings or anything.
and abandon all the attachment to success or failure. Now, if you do something with such evenness, that's called yoga. I suggest the viewers or health seekers to follow a regular routine every day, as ma'am was mentioning. A regular routine in the sense, not for doing for few days or months or when you get time. Like how you brush, how you eat, how you bath, how you sleep. You have to follow a regular routine. Maybe it's a simple physical activity, just like walking. Only just walking few miles a day and continuously throughout the year will help you in with great benefits, such as it improves your circulation, it will reduce the risk of bone fractures in the old age. It lightens your mood. It helps you to definitely lose weight, and it strengthens your muscles and joints. It improves your sleep, and it helps in digestion. Also lowers the risk of Alzheimer's disease in old age, and it also gives you a younger look. Now, who doesn't want to look young or follow anti-aging? So people who complain of ill health or no time to many activities, my suggestion is get up from the couch, get walking, and nothing can be as easy as this. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy.
Okay, thank you viewers for joining this session. Hope you all have enjoyed this session and learned a lot. As informed earlier, keep practicing yoga, as both the doctors have mentioned that. So we have 2 yoga sessions. One is in the morning at 8 a.m. and then at 4 p.m. So please join us on Facebook Live. Thank you.
Thank you, Manish.
Thank you.